conversation forward as well. Let's connect with one of the guests right now. We have Sandip Agarwal, fund manager and co-founder at Sowilo Investment Managers. Sandip, welcome to the show and always a pleasure to speak to you. Happy Diwali to you in advance. The question over here is, what is aiding this kind of a rally today? I know tomorrow it's going to be a busy day for all the banking majors and the analysts to track banks, taking into consideration the number of companies that will be reporting numbers. What's your take?
Hi, and good afternoon, and thanks for having me on the show. And I wish happy festives to everyone, to all your viewers and your team. So yes, you rightly mentioned that primarily the banking sector is one which has been pushing the Nifty high for quite some time, and I believe rightfully so, because if you see there are two things. One, on a sector wise, if you see IT, there is no more good growth or something. It is not able to pick up because of disruption because of AI, and also the sector is not at all cheap compared to its growth potential. Similarly, in FMCG, while it is doing now slightly better in last few days, but again, there are concerns that the valuation doesn't justify the kind of growth potential is there. So the sector which is reasonably priced is probably, the banking index, and everyone, if you see the guests who are coming, the fund managers, and everyone is talking about it. And I think there are three key reasons for it. One, the efforts which government has made on GST cut, income tax cut, and the RBI's liberalization, a little liberty on the interest rate side, all these things finally will kickstart the economy at some point of time. And when that happens, then obviously, if you are growing faster, you will need working capital, you will need capex, whatever it is. The channel to it is, or the best proxy to it is, always banking. So we always say that whenever we are bullish on economy, we play it through banking, and because it is the safest derivative to play. And I think that is what is happening. That is number one reason. Number two, if you see, the sector has massively underperformed while profits have not been so poor. So if you see last 3 years data of most of the banks, and if you see the BankX profit also, I think the performance of BankX is much lower than the profit growth which it has witnessed. And third, I think the NPA cycle is behind us. And now, in fact, after this quarter, the NIM contraction will also bottom out. Whatever impact of the sharp rate cut has happened, I think most of it will be taken care of. It will be accounted for. So I think this sector is poised for a very, very sharp rally, in my opinion, and everything which can go right is going right for the sector. So we are super bullish on the sector, and we believe that there is a long way to go for this sector. It has massively, underperformed relative to its profitability growth, and that is the reason the sector is now seeing, uptick.
Well, yes, Sandip, good afternoon. Sharad here, and of course, we are speaking about in the morning with Hiral as well, like the FI interest. There is a short covering also what the industry is seeing, and of course, IT is not that attractive right now. Now we are seeing private banking names also going up in trade. Interestingly, brokerages have turned bullish. Kotak also came out with its, foreign broking houses came out with its report on Kotak Mahindra Bank, as well as that NIMs will also bottom out. So I just have two parts to my question. The first one is the private banking space. We know that each bank has some kind of an overhang, but do you think like now, because of the valuations becoming attractive, we can see much more flows coming in?
Yeah, I think so, because private banks have two very strong arguments in favor of them. One, that in PSU banks, while large part of NPA cycle is behind, they have done better on the deposit side also relatively, and they are very, very reasonably priced compared to private bank. But the argument which is against them always is that there could be a supply which can come in form of OFS or something. So that is one, and then there could be mergers which may be very good in long term or medium term, but at the same time, people don't know what is the immediate impact of it. So on the other hand side, the private banks, the benefit is that they don't have any such concerns, number one. Number two, they have not done well, and they have actually underperformed to some extent relative to their earnings growth. So there is also valuation comfort there. So I think private banks have a very, very strong case to see a good 20-30% upside in next 6 to 12 months, and I think that will happen. And because their weight is also quite substantial in the BankX, it too reflects in the BankX as well. So we are a big fan of the whole sector. We like both large private banks, small private banks. We like the PSUs. Obviously, limited names in each of this because we can't have a lot of them. But we love 5-6 names out of the total 2025 which are looking good. And we believe that this segment is massively underappreciated right now. It will definitely re-rate in a big way, and you will see very good returns. So I think Nifty rally will be led by largely the banks going forward in next 6 to 12.
So Sandeep, taking this rally and your Diwali gift to all the investors, one top pick from the banking space. I'm not going to even divide it between one PSU and one private, but that one stock that will probably make fortunes for investors.
So, we run a PMS. It is very tough to give any call on names because there is regulatory and compliance requirement. But let me put it this way. For example, the large private banks, whatever names are there, I think you pick up any of them and the last three primarily. If you pick up any one of them, you will get very good returns. 2-3% here and there, but returns will be very good. That is the way I will put it.
Okay, I mean, that's interesting advice. But clearly, I mean, from even what... thank you so much, Sandeep, for joining us on the show. Sharad, interesting points that you also made.